Yeah, he began work on this museum at about 13. Um, in ancient China, the emperor was buried with his soldiers and heads of state. Um, Hong wanted to save the lives of the men and the women constructed the artifacts in 11 years. Altogether, there are over 7,000 terracotta warriors, horses, and other artifacts that he was buried with. Yeah.
We looked up those prices, and I believe it's cheaper during the winter period to try for the visit, but I mean, still relatively inexpensive, and just talks about when you walk in how magnificent it is. It's pretty breathtaking. So, let's see. All right, these are the Xi'an city walls, constructed during the reign of the emperor. I'm not even going to try that one, of the Ming Dynasty. Today the walls stand at about 40 feet tall and run all around the ancient city and are rectangular in shape with large gates on each side.
This is the bell tower. It was built in 1384 by the emperor. Zhu. Yeah. It means asserting dominance over the countryside and communities. It's a geographical center of the ancient capital. It's about 118 feet tall, 116 feet wide, and this bell tower was important for the military back during the Ming Dynasty. Yeah, it's very unique and decorative and a good place to visit.
They say the doors are really, the engravings on the doors are pretty cool. So, all right, so I looked up festivals in Xi'an. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be in town for any of these, but they're still pretty cool. And the first is the ancestor worship, which they hold at the bell tower, and I guess it's just to honor all their ancestors, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's a very cultural city. They're into their past, and I mean, it has a rich history, so I guess they just enjoy that. And it's also very artsy in Xi'an, so you've got these ancient culture art festivals where they said you'd see like 7 different types of opera, all sorts of dance, and of course martial arts. Some other cool ones, Mount Hua is known for its rock climbing and also its very dangerous trails. I kind of enjoy being outside, so I went for more of the outdoor things of the city. That takes place in September each year, so we wouldn't be there for that. However, if we did have some free time, I've heard or read that going along the trails is pretty intense. And you'll see a video about that in a minute. And then also, they have an international marathon each year in November around the city walls. This is a guy going along the trail.
There are lots of great jobs available in America right now. DeVry University offers bachelor's and master's degrees that are preparing for these careers.
A lot of people do. Getting pretty high up now.
Just give me a...
China and said closed. I was just about to fling myself off the edge when along came Buddy over here with some harnesses, and the adventure is on. lost my mind. Okay.
So you don't need to see that whole thing, but apparently it's a pretty unique experience. You're walking along 2x4s harnessed to the side of the mountains. And so in closing, Xi'an seems to be a city well noted for its culture and historic value. It was the start, or one of the starting point of the Silk Road, among many other rich things. And it said it boasts a pretty decent nightlife on websites, but I think most of your time will be spent traveling to these different spots, these museums and whatnot. So that's it.
In fact, you may not see much nightlife in Xi'an as compared to Beijing and Shanghai. And in fact, in Xi'an, we will be taking you to a Chinese cultural folk show where you can experience different kinds of Chinese dances. Now, just one piece of advice for today. If you are a coffee drinker and you are traveling in China, sometimes you may find difficulty in finding coffee shops. You can find many at the tourist spots in Beijing and Shanghai, but typically you will not find coffee in your rooms or in the restaurants. So I will suggest you that if you're a coffee drinker, then buy the small coffee packets, like the sort of instant coffee, and keep it with you. Because the hot water you will find everywhere in China for taking tea. So you can make your own coffee and drink it. Alright, so that's all.